A shadow moves across a foggy lake. Something too large, too smooth, too alive. Lower third, Loch Ness, Scotland. The water ripples, the question echoes. What if some myths were never myths at all? Across every continent, stories of strange beings have survived longer than empires. From dragons carved into temple walls to glowing sea serpents seen by sailors, the line between legend and science has always blurred. In the 21st century, with satellites, drones, and deep-sea scanners, we expect mysteries to fade. Yet, reports of impossible creatures still appear not from folklore, but from pilots, soldiers, and research vessels. This story asks, why do these ancient shapes keep returning, even in the age of data? In 1933, a Scottish newspaper printed a grainy photograph of a creature rising from Loch Ness. The surgeon's photo, as it became known, showed what looked like a long neck and a small head above the misty surface. Black and white image fades into lake waves. Source: Daily Mail, 1934. By the 1950 seconds, sonar scans of Loch Ness recorded large moving objects below the surface. Engineers described solid echoes, unlike fish or debris. Sonar map overlay. Source: BBC Archive 1954. Half a world away, in the Himalayas, British explorer Eric Shipton photographed a line of enormous footprints in 1951. The image ignited global fascination with the Yeti, a snow creature said to walk upright through the ice. Photo zoom on footprint. Source: Royal Geographical Society, 1951. In 1967, deep in Bluff Creek, California, a short film appeared to show a tall, fur-covered humanoid striding through the forest, Bigfoot. The footage was shot by Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin. Though analyzed countless times, experts remain divided. Visual, 16mm footage. Slow motion footage. Patterson Gimlin film, 1967. If one sighting were real, how would we know? In the oceans, reports go even deeper. In 1977, a Japanese fishing vessel near New Zealand hauled up a decaying carcass resembling a plesiosaur, a marine reptile thought extinct for 65 million years. Ship crew photo, archival tone. Source: Yomiuri Shimbun, 1977. Even modern radar and submersible cameras have caught shapes no one can easily name. Arctic scientists in 2018 recorded sonar images of a 30-meter moving mass under frozen waters north of Greenland, too slow for a whale, too large for ice debris. Source: Arctic Survey Report 2018. Card 1. The Loch Ness data. Multiple expeditions used sonar and submersible drones to scan Loch Ness. Some reported large, unidentified moving targets at depths over 200 meters. Source: BBC documentary 2003. However, no physical sample or tissue was ever confirmed. Card 2. The Yeti DNA tests. Hair and bone samples collected by Himalayan climbers were tested by Oxford University in 2014. Results showed a genetic match with ancient polar bears, not an unknown species. Source: Proceedings of the Royal Society, 2014. Card 3. The Bigfoot impressions. Plaster casts of large footprints have been analyzed by forensic experts since the 1970 seconds. Some display dermal ridges, patterns similar to human fingerprints, while others were proven hoaxes. Source: Idaho State University, 2006. Card 4. The Plesiosaur carcass. The decomposed body caught by the Zuiyo Maru was later examined by marine biologists who identified it as a decayed basking shark. Still, the image remains iconic in cryptozoology circles. Source: Marine Science Review, 1978. What we know versus unconfirms this? Card 5. The Arctic sonar shape. As of 2023, no follow-up expedition has relocated the 30-meter object. Researchers note it could have been a moving iceberg pocket or a data artifact, but the raw files remain classified. Source: Polar Observation Center, 2023. Conflicting views and gaps. Skeptics argue that these sightings often emerge where human perception struggles fog, darkness, vast distances. They suggest psychological patterns like pareidolia, our brain's habit of finding meaning in chaos. Pareidolia equals seeing shapes or faces in random images. Lever's counter that dismissing all accounts overlooks credible witnesses. Naval officers, biologists, and park rangers have logged encounters under oath. For them, the absence of proof is not proof of absence, only a sign of how little of Earth we've explored. Scientists remain cautious, with 80% of the ocean still uncharted and dense jungles hiding new species each year. Even skeptics admit discovery isn't over. Human impact, 1-3 paragraphs. For communities near these legends, belief isn't about proof, it's about identity. The people of Loch Ness rely on the mystery as both a cultural anchor and a symbol of wonder. Visitors arrive every year, not for monsters, but for the feeling that mystery still breathes somewhere. In Nepal and Tibet, tales of the Yeti are sacred. Locals describe it not as a beast, but a guardian of the mountains. Western expeditions searching for it often clash with cultural boundaries, reminding us that what science calls myth, others may call ancestor. Content note: brief mention of lost explorers. Some who sought these creatures vanished in extreme extreme environments, the Himalayas, the deep forest, the cold abyss. Their stories left behind journals filled with hope, fear, and sketches of the unknown. Human impact, 1-3 paragraphs. For communities near these legends, belief isn't about proof, it's about identity. The people of Loch Ness rely on the mystery as both a cultural anchor and a symbol of wonder. Visitors arrive every year, not for monsters, but for the feeling that mystery still breathes somewhere. In Nepal and Tibet, tales of the Yeti are sacred. Locals describe it not as a beast, but a guardian of the mountains. Western expeditions searching for it often clash with cultural boundaries, reminding us that what science calls myth, others may call ancestor. Content note: brief mention of lost explorers. Some who sought these creatures vanished in extreme environments, the Himalayas, the deep forest, the cold abyss. Their stories left behind journals filled with hope, fear, and sketches of the unknown. Expert lens: why it matters. Biologists often say finding a new species is like seeing a single puzzle piece of a vast picture. Myths may be those missing edges, not but direction. Anthropologists see these stories as reflections of survival. A monster near the water might warn of floods. A giant in the snow could teach respect for the mountains. In this way, myths act like memory, nature's safety instruction, written in awe. Psychologists note that humanity's craving for wonder is ancient. When we label something unexplained, it keeps curiosity alive, the same drive that leads to vaccines, satellites, or Mars rovers. Every myth, they say, hides a lesson about our need to explore. Montage of scientists in field plus ancient carvings overlay. Mini recap: pattern break, seen sonar echoes in a Scottish lake, giant footprints on Himalayan slopes, furry silhouettes on American film, and a carcass from the deep. We know some were explained, others weren't. What remains is a map of unanswered questions and one final mystery waiting below the surface. What's next? High confidence. Most alleged creatures will be explained by new imaging tools, environmental DNA scans, or misidentified wildlife. Technologies like eDNA analysis already detect species through water samples. Lab hand swabbing lake water. Medium confidence. Some reports may point to undiscovered deep sea or rainforest species. Scientists discover hundreds of new animals each year, often small, nocturnal, or ancient lineages. Source: Smithsonian Biodiversity Report, 2022. New confidence that any single legendary creature like Nessie or Bigfoot will be proven real in its mythic forms. But new finds: giant squids, ancient fish once thought extinct, remind us that impossible is a moving target. Montage: drone over jungle, submersible light fades into dark water. Holy outro and CTA. Respectable respect. Perhaps the real story isn't about monsters hiding from us, but about humans refusing to stop looking. The unknown, after all, is what keeps us searching not just in the wild, but within ourselves. If you want to keep exploring the edge between myth and reality, watch next. Ancient civilizations that knew the stars too well. All sources referenced are publicly available reports, archives, and peer-reviewed studies as cited on screen. New evidence or corrections will be added in future updates.